Hola, hello, hi everybody. I'm here to introduce you one of the most important events of Arts Electronica Garden in Barcelona, which is the exhibition that will take place in the Santa Mònica Arts Center just behind me. So as probably you know, Arts Electronica Festival is one of the most important events of the world about the interconnection between art, technology, science and society. And in this 41 edition, because of the COVID emergency, the festival will take place not only in Linz as usual from the 9th to the 13th of September, but also in 120 cities around the world. And Barcelona is one of these cities. Barcelona has a leading role in the field of electronic and digital art since the early 90s, put together a powerful scene in which you can find artists, curator, teacher, researcher, student, investigator. So this is the general framework, and now let's focus the exhibition. The exhibition brings together the last purchased and production of Bild collections. We show brand new works. 3 of them are the result of a grant for the production and the exhibition of young emergent Catalan artists or people living in Catalonia. And we have the work of Roc Parés, Santi Villanova and Monica Rikić. Then we have a new production of Bild collection, which is of Vestibular 1 of Albert Barqué-Duran and Marc Marzenit. And finally, a couple of historical works which are new purchased of the collection. There are 2 productions, one of the 1961 and the other one of the 1991 of the renowned German artist and theorist Peter Weibel, which is the founder and director of ZKM New Media Arts Center in Karlsruhe, Germany. So now let's go to see the exhibition and speak with the artists about their amazing work. So here we find Vicente Matallana. He is the director of Bild collection, and he will explain you about the 2 works of Peter Weibel, recent purchased by the collection.
I have the pleasure to introduce you 2 fantastic artworks from the emerging artist Peter Weibel. The first one is a TV action from 1969 called The Endless Sandwich, in which you are watching a guy that is watching another guy who is watching another guy until the 4th, 5th, 6th screen, and you are getting inside the action through the media and again and again. But in one moment you start to receive the opposite sense, because there is a glitch in the action in the last TV that the end guy is trying to repair, and it's coming back to us and coming back to us, to the next one, to the next one, to the next one, until occurs that you have to take and try to fix the glitch. So now let's go to see Das Tangible Bild, this is classic installation of Peter. The second artwork from Peter Weibel that we are presenting here and we have incorporated into the collection is Das Tangible Bild, the installation from 1991. First, I have to thanks, we want to thanks to Anita Bakers for her effort, her complicity to permit us to have this incredible work inside the collection. This is this artwork in which you have a Cartesian grill and you are being recorded and you have here a TV screen with some sensors that you can touch and you deformate your image that is projected in the opposite wall. This is a metaphor about how the media and the technological media can manipulate the image of ourselves and the image of the others. For us also, this work has in this moment as really special relevance because we have just produced the installation Vestibular 1 from Albert Barqué-Duran Marc Marzenit that in some way is talking about the same, about how the media change the perception of ourselves, how the technology can change the perception of ourselves, but with a difference of 30 years. 30 years of development of the art, of the science, of the technology, and they have created this mystical relation between them in this moment.
So here we are with Monica Rikić. She is one of the granted artists. She presents a new production for the exhibition. New Home of Mind is the title, and she will explain all about it.
New Home of Mine is a futuristic fiction art installation that talks about the possibility of a genuine artificial spirituality. It starts from the speculative fiction narrative about an artificial intelligence that has an existential crisis. To cover his needs around this existential crisis, it goes to find the meaning of its existence to a spiritual interface. This project represents that artificial spirituality interface through an interactive artifact that is based on a circular metal sculpture, which in the middle it has a screen where you can go, you can navigate through this spiritual artificial cyberspace and help the artificial intelligence with an existential crisis to find the meaning of its existence. To interact with a piece, you have a contactless sensor that with your hands you can interact in front of the screen and navigate through the space and help the artificial intelligence to find the meaning of its existence.
Here we are with Albert Barqué-Duran and Marc Marzenit. They are the author of Vestibular 1, which is one of the last production of Bild collection. So I give you the word to explain the work.
We are, first of all, we wanted to say with Marc that we are extremely grateful and excited that Bild collection jumped on us and gave us all these amazing opportunity to premiere our new piece Vestibular 1 here at Arts Electronica in Barcelona. And Vestibular 1 as a project, it ended up as an immersive installation that wants to explore mainly two perceptual experiences. One is about the vestibular system, which is one of our sensory systems inside in our ears that gives us this kind of perception that our body is in perpendicular to the floor, or that our body is accelerating, or we are in a static position. So with a bunch of patterns and configurations of light and audio that people are going to experience inside, these stimuli are gonna play around with the vestibular system of the people, and that's the first perceptual experience that we want people to explore. And then the other one, which is kind of powerful, it's it's what it's called the memory of the retina. So after some specific stimuli, visual stimuli, light stimuli, these patterns, these visuals are gonna be, in a sense, imprinted in the retina of the audience for some seconds, without being the stimuli showcasing per se, and that's a really fun thing to explore for the people.
Yes, this Arts installation works with some protocols designed by Dr. Elisa Ferrer from the Vestibular Lab in London. So we use a background of scientific papers and documentation that give us the possibility to manipulate the vestibular system through light and sound inputs. So this is really special. We like to work with scientific backgrounds. Also, obviously, use technology to implement these scientific documents and perceptions. And we also love to work in a creative way. To create this art installation, we work especially with a LED installation that follows some protocols and an 3D audio immersive sound that confuses and stimulates the vestibular system, and something there is a lack of coherence. What it means, your vestibular system can perceive something that is not really happening at all. So it's a really art installation that works with the perception. So it's not the typical installation that you can take a picture and it looks nice. No, it's an installation that really you need to live.
You need to live, yeah, you need to experience it.
There's no way that you can see a video and see, oh, it's so cool, or a photo. It's just something that you really need to experience. So we encourage everyone to come and live this experience.
Of course.
So here we are with Roc Parés, a Mexican Catalan artist, which was awarded with the grant of Hangar and Bild collection. His work, Double conscience, Doble consciència, is a work which is the history in itself. So I leave you with him to explain the work. Thank you, Roc.
Thank you, Roberto. Well, this interactive installation is called Consensia Doppler, which is the Catalan word for double consciousness. And in fact, in most of my work, what I am trying to do is research about perception, cognition, and cultural reception, and how this configures ourselves. So basically, I am interested in my career for about 30 years now in the technologies of the self, which means that I am not into the creation of worlds, but into the reconfiguration of ourselves. And in this piece, what I am trying to do is bringing back the first ideas about stereoscopic vision, and bringing the idea by the pioneers of stereoscopic vision that our human vision is based in two eyes that see two different images, but then our mind reconfigures it into one single and coherent vision. For me, this is relevant since the idea that the viewer is an individual and kind of monolithic self can be changed. And what I am trying to do in this installation is inviting the viewer in 3 minutes to have an experience that has three parts. The first one would be the two different images create the whole vision, like in our natural vision. So we have a first minute of stereoscopic images. In the second one, we have exercises of visual rivalry or binocular rivalry, in which we have two different images which are radically different for both eyes. And this might be somehow uncomfortable since the images become unstable and our conscious attention fluctuates between right and left. And then a third and final part of this piece is opening ourselves to this hypothetical double consciousness in which two different images, one for the right and one for the left eye, should allow people to start doubling their consciousness, or at least their conscious attention, into some new forms of experiencing the world.
So here we are with Santi Villanova. He is one of the artists winner of the granted of production by Hangar and Bild collection. His works is form screen ensemble, and I will let you with him and he will explain all the work.
Hello, I'm Santi Villanova. I'm gonna present you Forms. Forms is a hybrid piece between sound art and visual art, and it revolves around the idea of a machine that is constantly generating visual scores, this graphic notation, which is automatically transformed into music. So what you see is a generative graphics engine which is dreaming about these images, and as soon as these images reach this white line which is moving, this specific part of the image is being transformed into music. So the pixels of the image that are on the left of the image will be translated as lower frequencies, and the pixels that are at the right of the image are going to be translated into higher frequencies. As you see, there are 3 different screens. Each of the screens plays like an instrumental role. So one screen plays rhythms, the other screen plays harmonies and melodies, and the last screen is playing textures. These 3 screens are synchronized between them, so they are like playing the same song, but different parts of the same song. No, it's like you need to imagine this like a string quartet or like a small orchestra where each instrument plays a different role, but all of them go together, making a single composition. To develop forms, there's been a lot of research related both to the music field, also to the sound synthesis field, and also in the mathematic field. For what or related to mathematics, there's lots of investigation and research on how to create images that are musically coherent. So for example, if you want to make a rhythm, if you want to make like a tight rhythm, you need to draw, let's say for example, lines. If you draw lines separated the same distance one to the other, you will get like a tight rhythm, like tum, 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 tum. On the other side, if you want to make like a chord, no, like a cluster of notes, you need to do it on the opposite, using vertical lines. If you put 3 vertical lines, one next to the other, when the header is reading these 3 lines, it will be interpreted as a chord, as a melodic cluster. So all this is related, or no, the process to arrive to create these images that are musically coherent are strongly related, or is strongly related to a mathematical research. So what these distances between lights might be, what kind of luminance of the different graphics we need to apply in order to have greater or lower volumes, what kind of angles of lines make specific glissandi or no specific musical contents. So maybe it would be nice to explain that this piece is an evolution of a previous, more primitive format of the same piece, forms, which has been streaming online on the internet for more than 3,000 hours. So in the origin there was no material form of this piece, and it was just like an audiovisual streaming on the internet. Thanks to the arts grant from Hangar, Ramon Llull and NewArtFoundation, I could bring this ethereal project or non-material project into this new form using these three material screens. From here on, there are a number of possible derivations of this project which are also in this material universe. The next one might be using this kind of generative graphic scores for a real human acoustic ensemble, a string quartet, to interpret in real time what the machine is generating. So you will have a string quartet on stage, you will see a video projection on the back of the musicians, and the musicians will be interpreting what the machine is dreaming. They will be interpreting it as music in real time. So that's it. I hope you enjoy it.